New this morning, the Uvalde City Council has officially accepted the resignation of former school district police chief Pete Arredondo. He was elected to the city council just weeks before the Robb Elementary School shooting. He became the central figure in the response to the shooting, including the decision to avoid confronting an 18-year-old gunman. The shooting left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. And this morning we have new video from that school shooting in Uvalde. Our partners at KVU in Austin have obtained the video showing the moment the gunman walked into the school and started shooting.
Yeah, we do want to warn you, these videos are pretty hard to watch. We are choosing not to air parts of it because of the disturbing nature, and we are not sharing sounds of the gunshots or those screams because we certainly know that it may be triggering to some viewers. Security cameras inside the school captured the gunman casually walking down the hallway. One student saw him paused and ran away when he started shooting. And
then just 2 minutes later, officers arrived in the school. They ran towards the classroom, then retreated as the gunman started firing. They ran down the hallway to cover, where they mostly stayed for an hour. Time-lapse video here shows that more law enforcement arrived on scene. They remained at the end of the hallway, guns drawn, but very little else happens. No officers made entry into the classroom for more than 70 minutes. The director of the Texas Department of Public Safety called the response that day an abject failure. He said decisions made that day to wait on more backup weapons and shields were terrible and likely cost lives.
The police chief of the district previously said he did not consider himself to be the scene commander that day and that he assumed another officer took control. We are still going through this video and have analysis of the video on 9news.com. And this week, the White House commemorated the new bipartisan gun law passed in the aftermath of that shooting. Dozens of people were invited to join, including a man from Colorado whose son was killed in the shooting at Columbine High School. 9 News reporter John Glasgow joins us live from the newsroom with that moment and what it meant to him, John.
Yeah, good morning, Natasha. Tom Mauser admits he wasn't excited about the gun safety legislation drafted by Congress. It didn't go far enough for him. His son Daniel was killed at Columbine High 23 years ago. He told us he's decided that this law is better than the status quo, though. The White House invited Tom and other victims of gun violence to D.C. on Monday to celebrate the new bipartisan gun safety law. The law enhances background checks, makes it harder for domestic abusers to purchase a firearm, and provides more money for mental health services. Tom still wears the shoes that Daniel wore to school the day that he was killed. It's a reminder of why he's still advocating for change. Now, Mauser, he's been fighting for tougher gun control laws in Colorado for years, and now he's seen action at the national level.
It's a great feeling to know that you're with people who share the same purpose. And it's energizing because you realize, hey, we're all still working on this. If we could get 10 Republican senators to now understand that they had to do something, then we can build on this and do more.
So a few elected leaders in Coloradans were also invited, including Democratic State Senator Rhonda Fields and Democratic State Representative Tom Sullivan. Senator Fields' son was murdered and Representative Sullivan's son was killed in the Aurora Theater shooting. Now, Jordan Tom says that this is a step in the right direction, but he would like to see a law that also includes mandatory universal background checks. He's hoping that'll eventually come out soon.
Yeah, Tom's always a really big voice in these issues, and we're very thankful for him. John, thank you so much for your report this morning. A Coloradan is warning America the far-right extremists he used to work with were ready for a civil war on January 6th. Jason Van Tattenhove lives in Estes Park. He used to be a spokesperson for the militia group, the Oath Keepers. Yesterday, he told the committee investigating the insurrection he's worried right-wing militias are preparing for the next election.
What it was going to be was an armed revolution. I mean, people died that day. Law enforcement officers died this day. There was a gallows set up in front of the Capitol. This could have been the spark that started a new civil war.
Tuesday's hearing also included evidence from Brad Parscale, the former Trump campaign manager, who is now advising the Republican campaign for governor in Colorado. The committee shared his text messages where Parscale said the president's rhetoric led to violence and he felt guilty helping Trump win. Right now, Parscale is advising Republican candidate for governor Heidi Ganahl. In campaign appearances for Ganahl, he has still bragged that he works for the former president. Ganahl's campaign has not responded, though, to our repeated questions about Parscale's role.
The city of Aurora is moving forward with its plan to impose minimum penalties for car thefts. Our partners at Colorado Politics report that the new fines passed with a 7-4 vote earlier this week. The new bill puts a mandatory jail sentence of 60 days for the first car theft and 120 days for repeat offenses. It also adds tougher penalties for stolen parts like catalytic converters, which can lead to almost a year in jail and more than $2,600 in fines.
This morning, a driver is facing murder charges after a high-speed crash that killed a pedestrian crossing Broadway here in Denver. The Denver DA says Abel Aguirre Sanchez hit and killed Terrell Jones on Saturday, July 2nd, as Jones walked across Broadway near Ellsworth in the Baker neighborhood. That crash happened around 1:30 in the morning. The DA says Aguirre Sanchez was driving more than 100 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. He's also facing charges for attempted murder, assault, vehicular homicide, and DUI. He is scheduled to be in court tomorrow.
And in Castle Rock, police have arrested a former Taekwondo instructor on nearly 3 dozen felony charges related to sexual exploitation of a child. Police say that this man, 31-year-old Eric Chen of Aurora, ran camps as an instructor at Hanley's Taekwondo Academy from 2019 to 2021. Now, that's when police say these incidents occurred. Officers arrested Chen last week. He is in the Douglas County Jail on a $250,000 bond. His first court appearance was last Friday. Castle Rock police have identified several young victims, but think that there could be more. So anyone with information is being asked to call the department's tip line. That number is 720-733-3517.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today is pretty much more of the same. Look at the temperatures getting close to 100 degrees along the Front Range, and tomorrow pretty much more of the same, maybe a greater chance for showers or storms.
Something to keep in mind if you typically travel through the Glenwood Springs area. At 10 o'clock this morning, the eastbound side is going to close between Glenwood Springs and Dotsero. It's going to be closed till about 5 o'clock today, so we've got that really long detour you'll have to take off the interstate through Rifle into Craig, Steamboat Springs, Kremling into Frisco, and then you'll be able to get back onto I-70.